Hi, my name is Emma, and I'm the creator of Lady in the Pepper seasoning and spice line. So today I'm going to make my favorite jerk sauce from scratch. So we're going to be using some allspice, a little bit of salt and pepper today, cinnamon, nutmeg, raw sugar, soy sauce, onions, garlic, lemon, and scallions, and also thyme. You can't make jerk sauce without thyme. So it's pretty simple. If you've ever made jerk sauce, you should probably know the basics. So I'm going to do a whole bird today, and just season the bird with black pepper, salt, and olive oil, but all the rest of the flavors are going to come from the sauce itself. So I'm going to start out with my ingredients. About 8 cloves of garlic, a little bit more than a knuckle of fresh ginger. I put about a half onion in. You can either do red or white or a combination, but today I'm going to just do white. Chop up some scallions. Maybe like one bunch of scallions is enough. Fresh lemon. You can just squeeze it right into the mix. Some people only use a few sprigs of thyme, but I like to use a lot of it. So it's all about personal preference. I use about 2 peppers for heat, so everything that I cook just about is spicy. I love spice. I love peppers. So that's where Lady in the Pepper came from. So 2 Scotch bonnets that you can usually find at your local farmer's market. But if you can't find them, you can always use habanero as a substitution. Now I'm going to put my cinnamon in. I'm not really good with measurements. It's just about how I feel. So I'm going to throw some cinnamon in there, some nutmeg, not too much nutmeg because that can make it bitter. You don't want to do more than a tablespoon of salt, especially if it's sea salt. Allspice, for sure. Then you do about a tablespoon of cracked black pepper. I like freshly ground. A quarter of a cup of raw sugar. And about a little less than a quarter of a cup of soy sauce. You can use browning sauce too. It all depends on what your preference is. About a quarter cup of olive oil, but I'm going to just go ahead and pour how much I think should be in here. All right, so I'm going to get my lid. Okay, so this is the consistency that you probably want to use so that the sauce can be free flowing. And all the flavors are blended up so you don't have any like huge chunks or sprigs or anything in the sauce. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and just season the chicken. Really all you need is salt. I could sprinkle some black pepper on there, but black pepper is already in the sauce, so it's not a big deal. So sauce, olive oil. I'm going to put this in the oven for about 20 minutes, 25 minutes to let it cook, get brown. I'll also stuff a piece of onion in there. You can throw garlic in there too if you want. I'm going to also garnish the finished piece with some fresh bell peppers too. So it's going to be nice visually and of course taste-wise. So now that my chicken is seasoned, I'm gonna put this in the oven for about 20 or 25 minutes. And in that meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and simmer my sauce for about 10 or 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna take this out and put the sauce on the chicken and put it back into the oven for another 20 or 25 minutes. I like to do it this way because I like the flavors of the sauce to be on top of the chicken versus cooking with the chicken from the first time you put it in the oven, because then it becomes more stewed and less roasted. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and pour my sauce into the pan. You can use a skillet, a pot, a Dutch oven, whatever your preference is, whatever your favorite pot is or pan is for cooking. So you can see all that flavor and the ingredients and the texture. A couple sticks are still in there, but that's okay. I'm gonna also throw some vinegar in here. Today I have apple cider vinegar, but white vinegar is good too, just to open up the flavors. And vinegar also preserves your jerk sauce too. So this is going to be cooking for about 15 minutes while the chicken is in the oven. You really just want to do this until you see the ingredients turn brown. Right now you can see that it's green, so it's not cooked. But when it's done, it's going to be brown. So now that we've simmered our sauce, I'm going to go ahead and put some on the chicken and put this back into the oven for 20 or 25 minutes. And I'm also going to garnish it with some fresh thyme and some fresh red bell peppers, red, yellow, and orange actually. So you can kind of see the ingredients in there in the sauce. This is going to be spicy if you really like spice, like I do. So I'm going to put this back in the oven and let it cook for like another 20, 25 minutes. But I'm throwing my garnish on here now. So you don't have to be scared to use thyme. You can use it to make the dish pretty. It doesn't have to just be in the sauce. They give you so much of it anyway, so what else are you going to do with it? So just a couple sprigs on each side. And then I'm going to throw some bell peppers on here to give it some color. You can decorate however you like, or no decoration at all. All right, so we're about to put this back in the oven. So here's the bird right out the oven, nice and hot due to the flavor. And then also I made a side of sauteed kale with sun-dried tomatoes. And this is pretty much it. So I'm about to eat. Thanks for joining. And I can be found on Instagram at Lady in the Pepper.